friends, Namaste. Again, I'm back to you with the visa matters. So, last episode I told you that I'm going to give you this episode, the American visa matters. So, there are two parts in that. That is, one is how to apply for the American visa. Second is how to be ready for the personal interview for the American visa. As I told you, these are not to claim, because this I'm giving from my personal knowledge and experience. This has nothing to do with any other's experience or matters as such. These are very crucial information. Not many people part with it, because number one, it is a trade secret. Number two, it is self-professionals. The chartered accountant will not tell you what exactly he does it. So is the case the advocate or the doctor. But here it is COVID time. There are many people who are planning to go with many illusions and imaginations and their own self-realizations. So you could change bit and use the right time correctly. So that is why I'm giving this to you. We do not know when we call in Hindi Bulava comes. When are we invited by heavenly abode or down or wherever, we don't know, or here only. So there's nothing wrong in the upcoming generation. The teachers, the tour operators, the children who are studying for the tourism sector industry, all this, also the aspiring boys and girls who want to go abroad. So it is important they have some informations. It may not be 100% accurate, but still. Alright, let's start with it. First of all, for American visa, you need to have the money. People think that after stamping the visa only you have to pay the money. No. First, you have to have the passport. The first and the last page of the passport. Alright. Now, this first page should be clean, clear. Last page also should be clean, clear. And what we do is generally, I'm talking about the tourist visa. That is called B1, B2. There are so many visas. There is student visas, L1 visas, and entertainment visa, which is called E-visas, and then there's business visa, purely business visa who want to settle in America. Then there is to be with the spouses, that visa, with the children, with the kith and kin, that is the immediate blood relation. It's mother, father, or the own children, or brother, sister. These are what they call the blood relation, not the cousins and or brothers, children. No, your own father, mother, your own children, your own brother, sister. There it ends, the blood relation. And also these are the many, and of course there are work visas, and there are the commercial organizations, corporates send them for 1 or 2 years, and also there's training visas. There are so many, and also health visas for hospitalization, etc. So many different kinds of visas. Right now I'm talking to you about the tourism visa, which is called B1, B2, means business and leisure. Business means small business, not a huge, big business. And this can be used, same thing for the visiting relatives, that's VFR visa, we call it this, visit friends and relatives, and this is the same thing, not the green card, that's different, green card is different. And this is generally valid for 10 years, that you can go anytime, you can come back anytime. You don't, anytime, no, 6 months. They give 180 days validity for this visa. So the 180th day, you should be back to your hometown. That means 3 days before the 180 days complete, you must leave from there. You should not stay back. It's bad. Although when you come from America, there are no stringent checking at the airport. There is no immigration department which checks your passport. Till not 2019. After that, now in the post-COVID, we do not know the rules and regulations. This I'm talking about till 2019 December. It is while entering, there is of course very well checking. Also, if you are traveling via Abu Dhabi, that is if you are traveling with Etihad Airlines flight, in Abu Dhabi itself they have a checking point. Over there they complete the immigration of the person who is going to land into America. They have the flight going to Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, etc., etc. So all this place which the Abu Dhabi Etihad flight goes, for that they have the checking, the immigration checking at the Abu Dhabi airport itself. So if they found something mistaken and wrong, they report the person Abu Dhabi itself. You don't have to go to America and come back. That's an easy thing. Alright, now the requirements. We need this passport, and we have something called a DS-16 application form. That's in the system itself. You don't have to take the copy of it. We have generally an information sheet which is taken part of the DS16 application form. Here we take all the information of the customer, passenger, that is his correct date of birth, place of birth, first name, surname, last name, middle name, pet name, and passport details, all of them, as well as where all they traveled and who are the relatives and is there anybody there abroad, all this kind of informations, everything there from the time of their birth till what they are now, till that whatever information which a person should have of his socially, personally, physically, all this information we take it's about 6-page sheet and we take all this information. But otherwise, if you are going to do on your own, you must have everything in your brain, and as it comes in the system, you have to keep filling it. This is very crucial, but this information which you submit is going to get you the visa, not only the personal interview. This plus personal interview. From this information, they generate the question which they should ask you when you are here for the personal interview. When this and that doesn't support each other, or this doesn't synchronize with each other, or this is not in terms with what you have written, then you visa is rejected. Maybe by mistake, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, or maybe you have really written something wrong, then this happens. So to be very careful in filling this application form in the system, DS16 application form. Now, the first thing is you give the passport copy, then we have to go to the American Consulate website and we make the entry of your passport details and your name as what is coming in the passport. Then we get a sheet of paper which we have to make the payment at the bank. That is, there is a particular bank. Earlier it used to be HDFC. Now, then it was Axis Bank. Now, I don't know if the bank is now changed with S Bank or something like. Now, the post-COVID, we did not know yet to come all this information. Right now, all the consulates are, nobody is accepting any of the applications, whether in Chennai or Delhi or Mumbai, all are closed. And I do not any moment it can start now. That's the procedure now. So once you make the payment with this sheet which comes from the site, from the computer, this you have to carry along with your passport page copy again, no need of original passport, to the bank and make this payment something. It comes in the system. It's usually, it comes in dollars, which the bank converts and they say this is the money you have to pay. You cannot say I saw in this so-and-so newspaper this amount, so that only I would pay. No. You have to take the money which the bank tells you to pay in accordance with the currency exchange rate of that day. So this takes generally about 2-3 days and we submit it and they give a receipt for that. When they give the receipt, you have to wait for minimum 72 hours. It's working days. Not you submit on Friday and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You need about 3 working days clearly for them to analyze and to generate the PNR number, the reference number. That's very crucial. Because without this number, we cannot enter into the website to start preparing your application form. No, we can't make this application form manually and submit it somewhere. You have to go to the American website link, and through that link you have to inform, write, reply every question which is asked. You cannot leave even one small little line also blank. You cannot. About, I think, 4 pages, 4 sheets are coming, except for the, that's called responsible visa filling. There's so many things they ask. Are you carrying all this thing? Have you been to all this thing? Have you worked and so on? So there are so many questions. Have you been to all these countries? Many such questions which are purely security reasons. Purely security. To ensure the extreme security is given to the country America. They put all these questions and you have to check each one and reply. For example, if they ask a question that have you been to the military service? And it is something called CAB, etc. Or some other matters, something which you are making, the inflammable items like usage of many items. So I do not want to name it over here to go into the internet. So when you are doing that, your experience certificate or your experience job says that you are working on so and so thing. But without analyzing that, if you just reply no, you will not get the visa. Not only that, you get blacklisted. You won't get the visa for the next so many years. Hi friends, so when I say the first and the last page of the passport, some people still have doubt. Even my staff has doubt someday. So this is the first page where you are phase comes. And this is the last page where your address comes. Alright? And also, if you notice, last line of this last page, they ask if you are holding any other passport or you had an older passport, what happened? So in this page, in this line, it clearly explains by the passport office, if you had an old passport, that number, and it expired or whatever it is, that details won't be there, but the passport details will be there. Now, some people apply for some visa and they probably got the visa rejected. And then when they apply for the new visa, they say, we never had a passport. And when they see this passport copy or when they get this details of the passport, they know you had a passport earlier. That means you are a liar, correct? Or you are not responsible to your own job. You are not realizing what you are doing about your own self. So that is why it is very crucial, be truthful when you fill up the application form. So this DS16 application form is filled up only after 3 working days or after 72 hours of working. Sometimes it goes into 4 or 5 days also if there is system updation or some problem in the website of the American government. It's actually you are going directly into the website link of the American Consulate's Immigration Department and you're filling it over there. So it is well visible, available over there, and any mistakes that you're making, many number of days time which are taken to fill this up, and you write something and you delete it, again you write it, you correct it, all these are well noticed in that website, which you cannot erase it. So better fill this application form correctly first, then go to the website, be ready to what you are going to type, and then do it. Another problem, when you're filling it up, based on the person's nature of information to be fed in the computer, the questions keep changing. For example, if I am filling up the application form, I'm clear about my procedures, that I'm born in so-and-so date, I studied so-and-so thing, I've done this, I've done the college, this, and here I am, worked on that, it's okay. But suppose I'm going to fill up my son or daughter, and he has studied in so-and-so school for up to 12th standard, and then he bunked, he didn't go to work, for example, study, and after 2 years he went to Dubai or somewhere, studied over there for a year or some other, then came back, then again started again working or studying over here, then he went somewhere abroad again for the high studies, and 1 or 2 years he didn't do anything in between, so you have just wailing around. So or you went to work somewhere and you worked in that company for so many years, then you didn't again. So if this kind of a thing happens, and your social media network, what you are with Facebook and all this LinkedIn and all the stuff, if those are well visible with your jobs, in which they can read to something, and you are writing something else over here, then that's the biggest problem. You got to be very clear and truthful. Again, I'm saying you have to be very sincere when you fill up the application form for any consulate, and you should be very, very truthful. Satyam. Only truth only you should put it, not to do anything untruth. Similarly, in this also questions are there like whether you have any relations in America. For example, in America when you fill up. So if you have a relation, there are 2 types of relation. One is a blood relation. The other one is relations. So blood relation, I told you in the last episode that it's your mother, your real biological mother and father, and or whatever. And then you have your sisters, brothers, and your children. These are what you call the biological or your immediate blood relations. But others which you have, my mother, sisters, daughter, that, they are not your blood relations. Generally, you must mention that if it is not, it is not. Suppose you have a brother who has gone to America and he was there for, instead of coming back in 6 months, he stayed back over there, and you do not know where he is now. You must mention that. There's nothing wrong. You can explain, this is what happened. I do not know. I'm not aware where he is. Suppose you had a husband and he went to America. Probably something happened in here. No information as to what happened about 10 or 15 or 20 years back. It happens many times. In Gujarat and all, even Punjab and all, many children get married at a very young age, and these people are probably gone to America for a job or whatever, and they settled over there with a work visa or permit or whatever, and they married to somebody over there. There is no knowledge. But it has to be truthfully explained. This is it. Don't hold a truth and tell something made over. Be truthful. Okay, so this is one thing which I would always like everyone to be remembered and to spell it. So all this visa application form you should fill it. And I guess I told you again for children. So when they ask in between where you were, don't hide. Because some people think because I've gone to Dubai, it's a Gulf country, Islamic country, so I've gone to Pakistan, I've gone to Saudi Arabia, which has a lot of terrorists, we cannot mention. No, nothing like that. You should mention where you were and your company's name. Always don't say I don't remember that. Many times I see children come for a job, and when I say where did you work? I have 2 years experience, 5 years experience. So where did you work? He doesn't remember. He says the company's name, but he doesn't remember the boss name. He doesn't know the telephone numbers. He doesn't know where it is, or she. It happens quite often. That doesn't work with American consulate. You got to be absolutely truthful and explain what and where. You can't say I forgot. You can't write in your application form nil or not applicable. If they ask you where were you studying, like you are written for okay, I was in so-and-so school, then I went to so-and-so college. Then after 3 years you are writing another college name. So where is it in 3 years? They will ask where were you? Explain. So you have to say, you can't say not applicable because I went to stay with my so-and-so auntie or something in Delhi or abroad. I don't want to mention that. That is not correct. You have to mention not applicable, nil, no. You got to write what happened over there. And your job, in what you are practiced. Just not what you are preaching, what you are good at it. Which your work is concerned, you had to explain that I was working in so-and-so company, this is the boss name, even the telephone number and email address they ask, they push put it. Also similarly, they ask when you are writing the application, whether you are writing it yourself or somebody else is helping you. If somebody is helping you, you should say my travel agent is helping you. Or the travel agents also must write this so-and-so travel agency, the person's name is so-and-so, Mr. so-and-so, I'm Pradeep Shankar or George Thomas, my designation so-and-so, my address, telephone number, email ID, all you should give. And often people put a telephone number and email ID which is their personal, the staff, I'm talking about the staff members in the travel agency or tour operators, which is not allowed. When you do that, what happens? Sometimes for some reason the visa date is delayed. And by the time this person gets the visa or whatever reason, if this boy is not working in this company, he went to another company. So if any information come to this email ID or telephone number, the poor customer will not get, the agency also won't be aware of it. So please, my children, make sure if you are going to help a customer for an American visa, don't put your personal mail ID and personal telephone number. Give up the company's address, company's telephone number, company's email ID. Similarly, when the passenger who has to put your personal details, your address, please don't put somebody else's telephone number, somebody else's email ID. Put your telephone number, put your email ID, because they will be sending communications to you for something. Then if you are not aware of it, somebody else gets this information, which is wrong. Similarly, if you don't pick up a telephone, many people have this habit. Your telephone, that's on the no answer. Or you are busy with the WhatsApp message, or if there is a call coming which you do not know who is calling, and don't just ignore it. They think it's a marketing technique. Some people are trying to be with marketing. So you don't reply, you don't answer, which many of us have this habit never to answer. I have this problem. I never undo a phone. Any phone call which comes, even if I don't take, I would call it back. But in the American consulate or any consulate is concerned, they won't be calling you something from the mobile numbers. They'll be calling from the telephone landline. So when they call you from the landline, you will not be able to call back, because those telephone numbers are only for outgoing, not for incoming. Because if they give you the telephone number which is incoming facility, everybody keep calling, this numbers will be passed to many people. So they don't give this telephone number for reuse. So whichever number they are calling, you must pick up the telephone at that time. If you say, I am driving now, I can't take the phone, or I was taking bath. So the office timings of the consulate, when you apply for the visa, when you are going to submit that certain time, you should make sure the office hours of the consulate, which is between 7:30 to 5:30, that whenever telephone comes, you should pick it up and answer it. It is more evident when the Schengen consulates, Japanese consulate, UK consulate, Australian consulate, New Zealand consulate, and even Singapore consulate. These are very, very, very viable. Many times, I seen one of our customers got the visa rejected for Australia because when the telephone came, he was driving, and he was said that he picked up the phone, and it's called so many times. Then at the second or third call, he picked up. Then he was asked that, are you going to Australia? He said, yes. Why? He said, some so reason. He said, I'm going with so company. So can you tell me the route, your itinerary? He said, no, GNS knows. You can ask them. You think the consulate wanted to, American, the GNS is already giving everybody's itinerary in crystal clear with telephone numbers, email ID, with the hotel addresses, their details, everything. They have it, but they want to know whether the same, or it's a duplicate meaning or some other basis. So to check that, they're calling you to find out. But then when you reply, but these days, the American consulate, they do not call you. I see earlier they used to call many times. Even now also they call very rarely, but most of the time they don't call the customer as such. Canadian visa still calls. So when they call, you have to pick up. Now, this is for when you apply for the visa is concerned. You got to be very careful, you got to be truthful, you should have the knowledge and experience of what has happened in the past. It's all about your past history and what you're doing present. Only in the interview they ask about the future. They will not tell you to write. You have to write about your job credentials and your experience and your qualifications, and which are the schools and colleges you have passed through, which are the places you went with work, and where all you worked. You got to give all these informations correctly, and your passport details, the personal details, and the relatives, your wife, everything very clearly. Okay, so when we apply the first time, when you give the passport details itself and basic information, when you give, you come to a column, a page, a site where there is given an appointment calendar, a calendar of that month or next month or third, whichever month which is available. So in that calendar of that particular month, suppose you apply in the month of January, you probably get in the month of March or April or even sometimes May. When you see that particular month, you see some dates are blank, some dates are given, or some dates are given, some are blank. So one of them you have to click whichever the date which is given available, that you have to click which you want. So whenever you click that, only that, then they will be giving the appointment for that date and the previous date. Because one date for the biometrics, the one date for the personal interview. So when you get the interview date, previous day will be the biometrics date. And remember, during those close by days, don't go and cut some mangoes and apples and cut your fingers. No, they're very strict about it, because the same finger impression biometrics they'll be taking on arrival in America also. So at that time, if you have suddenly they found a cut in between the finger, your matter is going to be in trouble. So make sure you don't unnecessarily go and jump into all these practices. Be safe, be alert, be responsible, and be truthful. Okay, so this is how you apply for the American visa. Now in the next episode I will tell you how do you make sure that you are prepared for your personal interview with the American consulate. This again I'm telling you, this is only information I'm giving you, and not necessarily the same thing should happen, but by and large. Okay, thank you.